Rappers are living in a lie. No matter how many times they're exposed for their fake chains, their fake personas, or their fake lifestyles, they still believe that portraying a life of having an absurd amount of fame and money is the only way fans will look up to them. And honestly, they're not wrong.
This girl tattooed Drake on her forehead. The guy who tatted it is a fucking asshole, though. I will tell you that.
Unfortunately, a lot of brain dead fans get hypnotized by the flashy chains and big wads of cash, so they end up literally worshiping these rappers, making them feel like they're more than just humans, making them feel like gods.
Who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was, a god!
Which ultimately gets them caught up in a heightened sense of reality where they're being rewarded for portraying a lifestyle to the world that they don't actually live.
Rappers that rap about the shit that they rap about, they don't live.
Everything from the cars that they don't really own to the houses that are actually Airbnbs, all of it is fake. And it's because rap is one of the only industries where acting like you're rich can actually make you rich.
If niggas think you rich, they give you more money. But if they think you broke, nigga, they ain't giving you shit. They want you to stay broke with them.
All these rappers are kind of just like characters in a game. And the more their fans are able to buy into these characters, the more money they make. And that's why even once they obtain all this wealth, their personas, their lifestyles, and personalities they portray online only get faker. For instance, let's just take two of the biggest gangster rappers out right now, Meek Mill and Lil Durk. Both of these multi-millionaires rap about guns, violence, and spending till they can't spend anymore, perpetuating a lifestyle to their fans that they don't actually live.
Why are you doing bunny hops, Meek? Because you got your ass beat in tennis.
In all reality, they're not in the fucking trenches anymore. They live in these big old mansions where their closet is literally the size of my room. And don't get me wrong, I love the music. I definitely love the fuckery. But I'm able to see that it's all just entertainment. It's obviously all a facade. You'd be a damn fool to think that multi-millionaires who came from absolutely nothing are still willing to throw away their life after making it out. Like, I'm not saying that none of them are real, I'm just saying that a vast majority of them aren't. Hell, look at Gunna and the rest of YSL. They were supposedly the realest rappers in the industry. However, they became the one very thing that they hated the most. A snitch! Because as soon as they got the chance, they quite literally all snitched on Young Thug.
YSL is a music label and a game.
Shit, slide through that murder shit,
Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
And don't get me wrong, I definitely would have snitched too. Trust me, I wouldn't have spent not a single day in jail. But what makes it ironic for him to do it is because Gunna actually claimed to be a gangster.
I'm real level crip, you know what I'm saying? The slimiest crip you ever met.
And he used his gang, YSL, to further his career. It's essentially what made him the millionaire he is today. And to make it 10 times worse, Gunna and Young Thug actually have a song named Take It to Trial.
No way I can snitch.
But as you already saw, Gunna definitely didn't take anything to trial. He snitched on him. Snitched on the man that he once called his twin. It's hypocrisy at its finest. See, at the end of the day, to me, rappers are just entertainers. They're actors. You can't really take what they say seriously. But unfortunately, most of their brain dead fans will never understand that because social media has created a false reality where not only rappers, but quite literally everyone only show themselves at the very best points in their life.
Whole lot of race, man. Whole lot of jumping jacks.
So that's why one-hit wonders like YK Osiris try their absolute hardest to make it seem like they're important by doing anything to be associated and have pictures with some of the biggest rappers in the industry. He made it seem like all these people were his genuine friends and he was living such an affluent life. However, the truth will always come to light.
The baby don't fuck with me no more. Drake don't fuck with me no more. Nobody fucks with Osiris. So why the fuck I keep living? People look at me as a clown. Nigga, I'm a talented person, but that doesn't matter, bro. I don't drop my music. I don't do shit.
In reality, his rapper friends treated him like a joke. All of his flexing online didn't matter because in the industry, people didn't respect him.
You look like a suitcase, YK. You look like a fucking suitcase. You look like a suitcase.
He was hanging around all these celebrities, but you started to kind of notice that he was the only one being exposed for owing them money. Osiris once owed Drake $60,000, he owed Lil Baby $5,000, and he also owed Young Thug money too. However, before this breakdown on social media, he made it seem like everything was just fine, portraying to everyone online like he was still the man. He bragged about buying $300,000 worth of clothes. He also bragged about paying $1,500 for his weekly haircuts.
I get a haircut every 3 days.
And yeah, that all sounded good until you realized that this was really his mentality.
I always been like, if you don't got it, act like you got it.
So that's exactly what Osiris did, because back in 2019, after his biggest song Worth It came out,
Man, I went broke so goddamn quick, man.
but he felt pressure to try and keep up with his image on social media, and most importantly, he wanted to keep up with all of his rapper friends, which is why he owed everyone money.
What did you owe Drake money for?
Basketball.
And what do you owe Lil Baby for? Why do you owe so many people money?
In real life, he was broke. However, he continued to portray a fake lifestyle to everyone online. And look, I'm not saying this to make fun of him or be a dickhead, even though he makes it incredibly easy to. YK Osiris is just a prime example of why obtaining fame and money won't solve all your problems.
The biggest drug is fame.
You could think of the most famous person you know, and even they have insecurities. Think of the most wealthy people in the world, and even they have something that they're hiding too.
That motherfucker is crazy, right? Look how pale he is.
No one you see online is fully transparent, which is why it baffles me that people can look at a rapper like this and think that he's actually living the life that he raps about.
Fuck with savages, you a fuck boy, you can't hang.
Meet Slim Jesus, the Hamilton, Ohio native that took over Chicago drill in 2015 for a short period with his song that you just heard named Drill Time, where he talks about, you know, the usual, catching bodies, drugs, and having a lot of guns. He tried to sell this tough gangster street persona to his audience online and surprisingly managed to fool the industry for a good couple of months.
You know how we rockin', we out here on Frank Block, bitch. Where the fuck y'all at? Pull up, bitch.
Although it was extremely obvious that this goofball ass nigga was a fraud, no one was able to confirm it yet because he was just getting in the industry. So with his song Drill Time blowing up, it actually created a lot of positive attention for him. I mean, everybody was talking about Slim Jesus, and people like Birdman and Diddy even wanted to sign him. However, unfortunately, he ruined everything for himself. Honestly, he might have the quickest rise and fall of anyone I've ever covered. Because at the end of 2015, during an interview with DJ Vlad, Slim Jesus spilled all the beans. He let the whole world know who he really was.
You know, when you listen to your music, there's a lot of street stories.
So you better have your gun when we pop up.
Do you have a criminal record at all?
Nah, I'm straight.
Like, how involved were you street-wise in terms of...
For the most part on the street shit, like, I'm not out here catching bodies and shit, obviously. Like, I'm fucking smart.
He finally admitted to the blatant fucking obvious. The lifestyle of pure violence and chaos that he displayed to the public was once again all fake. Big surprise, the nigga that looks like the evil version of Eminem was faking it all along. And that paired with the fact that he lacked actual musical talent was a reason he instantly became a meme. You can't be a Chicago drill artist from the suburbs, so just as quick as his career started, it ended. It all crumbled to the ground in just a matter of months.
Support real hip-hop, bitch.
But one thing you kinda have to respect about Slim Jesus is that when asked, he told the truth. Yes, he portrayed a fake lifestyle to the public, but at least he wasn't living in complete denial. And that's why I respect him a lot more than other artists like Soulja Boy and 6ix9ine, because these two artists right here are definitely living in complete and utter denial. And I'm lumping these two clowns together because they're actually a lot more similar than you would think. Soulja Boy isn't a snitch, but the one thing they do have in common is that they both spark fake beefs with other artists in order to remain relevant when their music just isn't cutting it anymore.
My music is trash.
The purest example of this is when 6ix9ine got exposed for trying to pay Lil Durk $3 million to fake beef with him.
That bitch ass nigga label called me, talking about they'll give me $3 million to keep trolling with this nigga, right? So I ain't gonna never respond to this nigga ever fucking again, right?
And honestly, this shouldn't come as a shock to anyone because literally everything is fake about 6ix9ine. Everything from his teeth to his hair, and most importantly, the lifestyle that he rapped about was all fake. See, 6ix9ine understood that in order for him to have a successful rap career, he also needed a gang around him for protection. So that's exactly why he joined the 9 Trey Bloods.
2, 2, 3, halfway, yo, close that, some gang buck that, friendly, that.
He funded all their gang activities, and in return, they gave 6ix9ine protection. Most importantly though, they gave him all the confidence in the world to start up fake beefs with rappers like Chief Keef, Lil Durk, and Casanova.
Fuck all them niggas. Fuck y'all niggas talking about, nigga. This fucking Treyway, nigga.
Because anytime he threatened to shoot one of these rappers, 6ix9ine didn't have to go do it. He just paid his gang to do it. However, he betrayed to the world that he was just some sort of super gangster, and ironically called out every other rapper for being fake. But when they all got caught up by the police, you already know what happened. He snitched on them, threw everyone under the bus, wiped his hands clean of the gang like he had no involvement in the fuckery, like he wasn't the one fueling it. 6ix9ine involved countless amounts of people into his pointless beefs in order to improve his career. But when he got caught, he shitted on all the people that helped him become so big. And when he removed the snitching aspect of it, Soulja Boy is currently doing the exact same thing. Since he can't make good music anymore, Soulja Boy now sits in his mansion and randomly starts fake beefs with other rappers in order to keep his name relevant.
We promoting violence, nigga. Fuck you talking about murder, destruction, death, and destruction and mayhem, nigga.
He said this dumbass shit about a month ago in an attempt to try and spark up a fake beef with NBA YoungBoy because of YoungBoy's Stop the Violence campaign.
It's a bigger side of life. Stop the violence.
Obviously, this campaign had nothing to do with Soulja Boy's dumbass, yet he decided to prop his phone up and yell on Instagram Live about it.
I'm one of the last straight rappers in the game, nigga. We promoting beef, we promoting violence.
It's like he's just begging for attention. Keep in mind, this is a 30-year-old man that was once actually the face of hip-hop. And now the same man is sitting in a multi-million-dollar mansion where he's promoting violence while the people in the hood are begging for it to stop. You just have to see the hypocrisy in that. Soulja Boy obviously isn't the big bad gangster that he portrays to be online. And I'm not just talking on my ass either. A couple weeks ago, I did a poll and even y'all agree with me. To be honest, he's a fucking clown. He's just an actor starring in a movie where he's the main character and no one else matters at all. It's crazy how some of the biggest and loudest voices can unfortunately end up being frauds. And believe it or not, but the most fraudulent man of them all is actually Rick Ross, because he's the only one on this list that has ever been accused of his whole identity being fake. Everything from his rap name to his backstory was all allegedly stolen from someone else, essentially meaning that Rick Ross isn't actually Rick Ross. The big man that raps about his criminal past of being this big old drug lord didn't actually live that life at all.
Technically, he's never sold drugs.
Because the real Rick Ross isn't a rapper.
The rapper had already took my name, you know, and used it and didn't do jack shit for me.
Meet the man who Rick Ross stole his whole identity from. A man known as Freeway Ricky Ross, who was a big-time drug kingpin all the way back in 1982 with a huge infatuation for cocaine.
So when my friend introduced me to cocaine for the first time, I just fell in love with it.
And by 1985, Freeway Ricky had claimed to be making anywhere from $1 million to $3 million a day from selling mass amounts of cocaine. But of course, if he's just openly able to tell this story, you already know what happened.
Freeway Ricky helped trigger an epidemic of human misery.
Ricky unfortunately went to prison after getting caught trying to buy 100 kilos of coke from an undercover police officer. And on September 5th in 1990, he got sentenced to 27 years in prison. But years later, around 2006, while he was still in jail, he noticed that there was a bigger, fatter person stomping around claiming to actually be Rick Ross.
I had a book club while I was there, so this youngster brought me a magazine and had the guy on there with his mouth open and all these gold chains and a beard, you know, and he was saying that his name was Rick Ross.
And at the time, this person was also rapping about his past of being a huge cocaine drug lord that amassed millions of dollars from his drug empire. Sounds pretty fucking familiar, right? Well, Freeway Ricky Ross coincidentally thought the same damn thing. So after he got out of prison in 2009, just a year later, Ricky filed a lawsuit against the rapper Rick Ross for stealing his image, name, and likeness and using it to fuel his extremely successful rap career. He claimed that the rapper Rick Ross stole his name and identity because Ricky's actual government name is Rick Ross. So obviously it started some confusion and the question became,
where you get that name from, man? I got on the name like 10 years ago when it wasn't about that.
Rick Ross continually denied that his name derived from Ricky Ross, and in court he even said that his name actually came from a mispronunciation of his high school nickname, Big Boss. And as unbelievable of an excuse that was, Ricky's $10 million lawsuit against the rapper Rick Ross didn't stick.
Did you lose the lawsuit?
Both of us lost. He lost about $1.5 million, and so the judge ordered me. I'm supposed to give him $500,000 back. So if they ever come for it, I'm gonna give it to him in quarters.
However, Rick Ross definitely didn't leave the situation scratch-free, because during the court case, Ricky exposed Rick Ross's real past to being a prison guard. Ricky let the whole world know that in 1995, he was actually a correctional officer at a prison in Florida for 18 months, meaning that he would go to the prison and lock the real drug dealers up, which is completely at odds with his drug lord past that he liked to rap about.
He raps about selling drugs,
right,
and he never sold drugs.
So this stigma stuck with him for the rest of his career. And every time he was asked about being a CO, he kind of just ran around the question.
Was Rick Ross in his lifetime a corrections officer?
Rick Ross done did it all to get money.
It's a hilarious and crazy fucking story. A prison guard took the name and identity of a drug kingpin, and it actually worked. Because in all reality, the rap industry is just about faking it till you make it. So if you want to hear more about fraudulent rappers, click the video on the screen and see how Soulja Boy turned from a pop star to a fake gangster.